being able to lead the field to the green on a historic weekend. If you don't mind, before we get started, to talk a little bit about your lap, but also just kind of your first impressions of being here in Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, just really props to NASCAR and the city for, making it happen. I certainly was pessimistic when it was first announced. I started warming up to it a little bit in the months leading up, but obviously when you see the fans that are walking around here on a Saturday, their excitement of just seeing a NASCAR race car up close, taking pictures. I mean, it kind of is like, this is what we were supposed to do here. So I mentioned on the podcast last week that, like, the sooner we just kind of understand the gravity of the event and not get caught up too much in, the on-track stuff, I think the better off we're going to be. And certainly we were very optimistic and about today. I certainly didn't like waking up to rain. I thought that really could have changed things for me quite a bit. And hopefully it does not rain tomorrow, but it just was a great day. Probably my single best day at the racetrack in all of my career, for sure.
Now go to questions for Denny. If you have one, raise your hand. We'll work to get a mic to you. We're going to start up front with Reed.
Reed Spencer with the NASCAR Wire. You ran your fastest lap, obviously, on the final lap of the day. Was there not much tire fall off? Was it more getting used to the course? And was it an advantage only having to run one lap in the first round?
It was, but I messed up the first time. In the final round when I ran the 88.9, I knew that I left a ton of time on the racetrack. And so, I mean, I thought that the competition was going to let me get away with it, but Shane obviously put up a great lap, and I knew that 3/4 I could probably go get that in certain areas, and so we did, and I still didn't hit it perfect, but it was kind of just enough. But the tire fall off, I thought that it's really coming from reps. I think that the tires, if you were optimized and the drivers were perfect machines, it would run fastest on lap one. But it's just the reps is what's getting us a little bit faster.
All right, Bob.
Looking at this race, just the overall performance of our team today, from lap one of practice to the last lap of qualifying, we just have been strong on a track that is really tough, and everyone had to learn it at the same rate of speed. No one's got a veteran advantage at this type of racetrack. So it's just a very proud moment for our team to be able to come here on equal footing with everyone and perform as good as they did today. Again, I've never felt like I had more speed in reserve than what I did today. Like, I just knew that, I can go get that. You want me to run 4/10 faster? Okay, I feel like there's areas I can go get that. Now, there's risks with it. I think in the race, you're going to have to just back it down slightly to take away, 20-30% of risk. You're going to be a half second slower lap, but you're going to take away the risk of, making a huge mistake. And I feel like when you have a car as fast as mine, I'm able to back that up and still run fast enough pace.
All right.
What up? It's Brad Perez. Click subscribe and watch one of the two videos right beside me. Visit frontstretch.com for more racing content.